What is up, Finesse family? Hopefully, everybody is having a great Friday today, guys. It is Friday, Finesse family. So we're in it again now. You guys know what we do on Fridays. We call this Freestyle Finesse Friday. And what I do is I bring you guys the information to educate you on what's going on in the nation with the trending news and topics and anything that you guys suggest that you want to talk about. That's what we get into. All right. So, once again, if you're new to the channel, hola, good day to you. Bonjour. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day today. My name is Mrs. D. Finesse of millennialfinessemindset.com. And I use my background with psychology and criminal justice to teach and educate you guys on how to have a finesse mindset. And finesse is an acronym. It stands for faithfully innovating, being inspiring, being naturally effective, and seeking success every day. And mindful mindset, guys, is just being cognizant of why people do what they do and having an understanding to make you more well-rounded, right? So we're called the Finesse family here. And if you're new, once again, thank you. If you're on the hashtag rewatch gang, replay, make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you comment. If you are in the stream now, make sure you are commenting before the stream ends in the comment section, letting us know what you learned, what you like, what you didn't understand. If you have questions, make sure you guys are commenting. Also, as always, I always like to give flowers to the Finesse family, guys. Thank you guys for all the super chats, the cash apps, everywhere you guys support the channel, buy me a coffees, and all of you that have joined the channel. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. And consider joining the channel. It helps support the channel, and there's extra videos and posts and things just to encourage you guys for the channel members. So thank you for that. Also, thank you for all the support that you guys have done before, and we're going to get into it. It's a lot going on. Different things that need to get understanding from. So we're going to talk about that, get into it, guys. So once again, if you guys have questions, make sure you put them in the chat, and we're going to roll right along and get the Freestyle Finesse Friday. All right. So here we go. Make sure you hit the bell button, and if you have not subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go, guys. All right, guys. So let's get into the first thing you guys wanted to talk about or suggested, which was interesting. I was watching TV with the family yesterday, and I came across this information, and it was asked to be talked about. So we're going to get straight into it. So let me get it up for you guys. Once again, if you're just coming in, make sure you guys hit the like button, thumbs up on the way in. And if you guys have any questions or comments, or if there's anything that you found out that was you want to talk about, put it in the comment section and let me know. So let's get into it. Here. Now, I'm wondering if any of you guys heard about this, and it was just interesting to me just because, listen, guys, I'm very much so interested in all things as far as like learning and understanding, especially when it's dealing with our bodies, biology, even different sicknesses or illnesses or diseases, and why we get them. And this was super interesting to me. So they talked about Justin Bieber offers an update on his facial paralysis. So I don't know if you guys knew this yet, but he has got some type of facial paralysis, which then paralysis obviously is like the paralyzing of one side or some part of your body. And I'm going to play the video, but I want to go through this so you guys can see what happened to him. And this is interesting too, guys, because I guess he had a tour that he was supposed to be going on, but he had to cancel it. So it says Justin Bieber has shared a faith-filled update with a rare medical condition that has resulted in one side of his face being paralyzed. All right. So here, let me zoom that in bigger so you guys can see it. All right. And let me know, guys, if you can hear me well. Let me make sure. Hold. All right. So here we go. And it says he has a rare medical condition. All right. So this is super rare. Very interesting. Here we go. And it says it has resulted in one side of his face being paralyzed. Oh, let me do that. Okay. Um, it says the Yummy Singer posted a statement on his Insta story portion of his verified Instagram account Monday about his continued recovery from Ramsay Hunt syndrome. All right, so that's what it's called, Ramsay Hunt syndrome. I don't know if you guys have heard about that before. I've never heard of it before. Once again, it says it's very rare, so let's kind of get into what is going on with him. All right. It says he says he wanted to share a little bit of how he's been feeling. He wrote, each day it's gotten better, and through all of it, he says he's found comfort in the one who designed me and knows me. So he must be talking about God there. All right. So let's see what else he says. He says he has been outspoken in the past about his Christian faith and wrote in his statement that I am reminded he knows all of me. Right. And he says he knew the darkest parts of me that I want no one to know about, and he consistently welcomes me into his loving arms. The statement continued. He says this perspective gives me peace during the horrific storm that I'm facing. So that's awesome. You know, he's got a faith walk going right now, and he basically says, listen, I'm trusting the Most High in this. I'm not going to have any fear. And that's pretty amazing if you think about it, guys, because listen, you know, his money and how he really gets by in life is the way he looks, right? So the simple fact, I mean, could you do this is the question I really want to know. Could you honestly be positive when your job is contingent on the way you look? Could you honestly be positive and have the outlook that this guy has on his career? And actually the backlash, you know, what people could say about him. Super interesting. So let me play it for you guys so you can hear him actually talking, and then we'll get on moving with this thing. Okay, let me see. Here we go. Once again, if you're coming in, make sure you hit the like button.
I'm having more fun now than I did the whole night.
Okay, we'll let that pass, and then we'll get this up. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna bring it up for you. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I got the volume up. There we go.
As you can see, this eye is not blinking. I can't smile on this side of my face. This nostril will not move. So there's full paralysis in this side of my face.
Okay, it says Bieber announced on Instagram that he's suffering from Ramsay Hunt syndrome. It said this occurs when a shingle outbreak affects the facial nerve near one of your ears. In addition to the painful shingle rash, Ramsay Hunt syndrome can cause facial paralysis.
I'm gonna get better,
and hearing loss.
And I'm doing all these facial exercises to get my face back to normal, and it will go back to normal. It's just time, and we don't know how much time that's gonna be.
All right, pop star said he'd be taking a break from performing.
I hope you guys understand, and I'll be using this time to just rest and relax and get back to 100% so that I can do what I was born to do. But in the meantime, this ain't it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, guys, that was him. And it's really, like I said, to know like somebody like him that is his face is basically his moneymaker too, besides him singing. Once again, he says he has been outspoken about his Christian faith and wrote in the statement that he's reminding who's he is. It says he also revealed last week that he's been diagnosed with the rare neurological syndrome, which is caused by the same virus. All right. So basically, once again, it says Bieber revealed last week that he's been diagnosed with a rare neurological syndrome, which is caused by the same virus that causes chickenpox and shingles. It says in a video he posted, he showed how one side of his face was unable to move as a result, and he explained it, right? And he's canceled his tours. All right. Let's see what else he said here. All right, so let's get into. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm bringing some videos coming in. Make sure you guys hit the like button. So once again, guys, this rare condition, the singer and performer Justin Bieber has super interesting on this. Like I said, it says he's going to postpone. This was Yahoo News. They said they're going to postpone all his remaining legs of his Justice World Tour following the Ramsey Hunt diagnosis. And so basically, there, like, see, guys, this paralysis is on that side, and that's got to be horrible because he doesn't really know when he's going to get feeling back, guys. That's the interesting and kind of scary thing about this. You don't know when it's coming back. You have no clue when it's coming back. All right, and let's see what he's saying here. It says he basically postponed, guys, all his remaining U.S. shows for his world tour, suffering a condition that causes facial paralysis. Says the pop singer, he's 28 years old, if you didn't know, posted a video, and I just showed you guys a video, and it says all his remaining U.S. Justice Tour shows scheduled to take place in June and July have been axed, he has announced. It says the statement on Twitter reads, in light of Justin's ongoing recovery, the remaining U.S. Justice Tour shows scheduled for June and July will be postponed. And if you guys didn't know, his wife, and that's her right there, I believe her name's Haley, she's been in, had some medical issues where she had like a mini stroke. I think that's what made me get this information also too, that she was on a TV show and she was talking about that. And then I had seen it, somebody brought it to my attention. But she had like a mini stroke and she was just in the hospital, which is super sad because, you know, they're not that old. And looks are deceiving too. That's why you have to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Sometimes you're not in control of rare diseases that come. It might be genetic. It might be, you know, something you can't control. But yeah, and still, don't get lose sight of, just because you're young and you're vital or you feel like you are healthy, that you don't, you know, get checkups on yourself and make sure that you are okay. Oh, hey, Brampton. Hopefully you're doing okay and having a great day, you and your family. Yeah, it is horrible, Brampton. Brampton Gardner says, I know a lady who has Bell's palsy years ago and never really fully recovered. It's been a huge issue for her self-esteem and not feeling like herself. And see, that's the issue there. What's really interesting to me and what I really do like about, you know, Justin is he's being very honest about it, because guess what? He doesn't have to tell you guys anything. So that's very admirable of him, number one. I know eventually he knows people are going to find out probably, so he needs to speak up. But then number two, guys, as I said, like that is what he gets paid for, how he looks and his performances, right? And that is contingent on, you know, his face. So the simple fact to be that young, that he's going through all that, that's a lot. And you guys think about it. That's the first thing everybody sees is your face, right? Everybody sees your face. That's the first thing. So, you know, that has got to be a self-esteem and confidence, you know, kicker for somebody to always be looking at your face and then you're not really understanding like what's wrong. And then the questions and then the stares, right? It's crazy. And yeah, so I bet Brampton, as far as her not getting over it, and from what I was reading about the syndrome, he doesn't know when he'll be fully healed. He says he's doing exercises, he's doing a lot of things, but he does not know when it'll go away, guys. So that's kind of especially him being a performer, he has no clue when it'll heal, how fast it'll heal, and if it'll go away. So that's super scary. It says statements from Bieber's tour promoter. It says a lot of just his ongoing recovery. It says that including the Summerfest in Milwaukee, we're going to postpone that, right? And then it says Jessica continues to receive the best medical care possible, and is upbeat about his recovery and is looking forward to getting back out on the road and performing. It says the syndrome is due, if you did not know, this syndrome is due to viral reaction and is one of the 60 causes of facial paralysis and facial paralysis. That's interesting. Brampton says she had a rare stroke, and it's buzzer, the both of them have issues so close. Yeah, Brampton, and that was my thing that was just sad to me for them, because like I said, she's just kind of getting over whatever she has. Well, basically the way she explained it when I seen her talking is she said she's always known she's had a hole in her heart, but it never like affected her moving or doing anything or living, and just whatever this hole in her heart she had attributed to that mini stroke that she had. So yeah, if you did not know, he's married to Hailey Bieber. I believe she's a model. And once again, she just had about where she was in the hospital for a while. I think at least approximately a week or so, something like that. But I know she was in the hospital, right? And it's sad because they're both young. But it's cool, and this shows, what a positive attitude can do, because of the fact that, he is very positive about what's going on. He's not, sitting in a corner. He's actually coming out, showing his face. And I think that's like one things that can help you get a lot of self-esteem back, that you just kind of go out there and you show people that, listen, this is who I am. This is what I look like. I'm going through this. And you keep showing a smile, that mindset. That's like I tell you guys, talking about the finesse mindset, faithfully innovate, inspire. That's very inspiring that he's doing that. And he's faithfully doing it. He's talking about his connection with the Most High, with God, and how he knows who his maker is, and he has faith that he's going to be better, and he's seeking success every day, which means he's being positive, because he says he's doing his facial muscle movement classes and all that, and he's feeling inspired. So I mean, you can't be anything but inspired by this story, because like I said, his livelihood is the way he looks, right? And he's a performer. So I thought that was an interesting story. I definitely wanted to bring that to you guys. Like I said, because it's very inspiring when you think about it. It's a very inspiring story. Yep, they're both young. They're both young. Hey Lonzo, hopefully you're having a great day today. Yeah, it's super inspiring. Yeah. Oh, I figured you meant Bizarre Brampton. So I tried to say that. But yeah, guys, so he says, Justin previously told fans that he'd been doing facial exercises to regain his movement after upcoming dates on his tour were canceled. He says, for those frustrated by my cancellations of the next show, I'm just physically obviously not capable of doing them. Like I said, his livelihood is the way he looks. So he's not capable of doing them physically. So I mean, what can he do? You paying to see him, a show, right? It says, he says, my body's telling me that I've got to slow down. I hope you guys understand. Now, see, that's important. We talk about that a lot, Finesse family. We definitely talk about when we're going overboard, and we talk about how important it is. Actually, your wealth is your health. So, your body's going to give you signs and signals about when you need to slow up and when you need to actually rest, right? So I think that's key that he said that. He says, my body is giving me signs I need to slow down. You guys know Justin Bieber is always out. He's always on tour. He's always tending to his fans. He's always performing. And, for him to be a young guy and have been doing it since he was a teenager, probably over 10, 20 years, he might need to take a break, right? And it's horrible if he does have fans that really can't understand that, but that's the prerogative. He's definitely got to get better and healthier and deal with the issues that he's having, right? So yeah, that's it on the Justin tip. Hopefully, he heals and he gets better. Nobody wants to wish anything bad on people. And guys, stop doing that. Just because people are famous, don't be wishing bad on them and saying, well, that's what they deserve. No, nobody deserves that, right? And so once again, that's the paralysis that he has on his face. All right. And so let's go to the next one. So the next topic, guys, I'm not sure if a lot of you actually remember this or seen it, but I know a good portion, especially in the US. This was a huge show, I believe like 5 or 10 years ago. And it was called Bring It, right? And it's basically a dance show for younger, and especially in the South, in the United States. It's really big, like dance companies, dance troupes, all that stuff. It's super, super big, right, in the South. So, but what's sad about it, or what it just is troublesome to me, like I said, is that this young girl has passed away, right? So let me get the story up. And her name is Dy'Shea Hall, and she's with the Dancing Dolls. Let me bring this up. Oopsie. Once again, if you guys are just coming in, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you guys are sharing. Remember, we have a conversation here. If you want to talk, you want to engage, you want to add to this conversation, or there's some news that you feel like it's important for us to talk about, go ahead and put that in the chat and add that. All right. Okay, let's add. Okay, guys, so here she is. And what's sad about this, guys, is that this is the second child that has passed away from this company, right? They're called the Dancing Dolls. There was a girl. She was what does it say? It says she was shot in February. And she's with the same group. They're called the Dancing Dolls, or D4L or whatever, right? And it says Dy'Shea Hall, her mom reveals double family tragedy and haunting link between the two deletions of the Dancing Doll members, right? So once again, the Dancing Dolls, they're a company. I believe they started a dancing company, and I think they started in Mississippi, right? And then the woman that owns them, she moved to Atlanta too. And it was a big show. I forget. I don't know what channel it was on. I think it was on. Was it on A&E? Or I forget what channel it was on. But anywho, it says a dancer from the renowned studio Dollhouse Dance Factory was deleted over the weekend, hours before her second cousin was gunned down outside of a hospital, teens mom revealed. See, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is super, super crazy, guys. And this is her relative that says this. All right. So let me get it up so you guys can see the girl. Okay, so this is her name. It says Deanna McCord. She says she's torn apart from losing her daughter, Dy'Shea Hall. She's 16, guys. 16, right? And her cousin, Vincent Park Jr., 32, in two separate deletions in Atlanta, Georgia on Sunday night. So once again, like I told you, one of the other Dancing Dolls, which is one of the girls that's in this company that dances, they perform at different shows all around the world. One of the other Dancing Dolls passed away back in February from a shooting. All right. This girl just passed away this week. And then the mother is saying, her name is Diana McCord, that the young lady here, her cousin, Dy'Shea's cousin, he's 32. He just got deleted in a shooting in Atlanta on Sunday too, which is sad, guys. This is horrible. This is horrible. And then it says the fatal deletion unfolded outside of a Kroger supermarket in DeKalb County. Says, I haven't had time to process anything, says her mother, who's 37, through her tears during a phone interview. She says, I'm just trying to hold it together as best as I can. She said, not only have I lost my daughter, but I also lost a cousin who I grew up with, and we were really close. Dy'Shea, which is the girl in the picture that you see. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry. Let me close that. And this one is, okay. So here we go. It says, Dy'Shea, a member of the competitive dance troupe Mrs. D's dancing dolls was shot outside of a Kroger convenience store on Flat Shores Parkway at 7:46 p.m. on Sunday. All right. All right. It says earlier this week, it says Dy'Shea Hall, she's known for Lifetime. I'm sorry, that's what the show was. It was called Lifetime. The network, I'm sorry. The show hit big, called Bring It, and she had passed away, right? So this is from Black Enterprise News has learned that DeKalb County Police, this is the update, have identified the victims of a shooting outside of a Kroger. Her name's Dy'Shea Hall, 16, and Vontae Wood, 17. So there were two people that were deleted the same day, her and this other 17-year-old child. Let's see. And it says Diana Williams is the owner of the Dancing Dolls. She took to Facebook to post a heart-wrenching tribute to a member of her team, Dancing Dolls team, of the hit Lifetime show Bring It, which aired for 5 seasons, confirming that she did pass away from this accident. And once again, guys, you know, that's the big thing that they're talking about here in the States, the gun control issues and the people that, you know, just lasciviousness with these guns and young people dying. So, you know, especially if you're in Atlanta, let us know what's going on. And if this is, you know, true to the culture of what's going on in Atlanta. We already know, we talked about that, I believe, a week or so ago on a Freestyle Finesse Friday. I explained those RICO charges with young Thug and Gunna, and how all these things are transpiring from people just being in association with these other people, right? So once again, and I say this to you guys all the time, you need to be careful of who you're associated with and your children. Don't let them just be around people. Don't let them just go with friends you don't know, because you never know actually what is going to happen. And it's sad. It's really sad because she's basically a child, and you know, she had her career all ahead of her life ahead of her, and for something like this to happen, it's just horrible. And once again, if she was 16 and a 17-year-old passed away too, right? So yes, it's a horrible thing. Horrible. But once again, that was the update from that Dancing Doll show. And that's the show that this young lady was on, right? All right. Let me see if I can get, well, let's do something kind of interesting and uplifting, guys. Because we always want to focus on trying to have you learn, have you laugh, and just go through and figure out things about how to live with understanding. So let's get something kind of uplifting for the youth and our society of people. Let's see. All right. Now, I feel like I've seen this story before, but this was recommended, so we'll talk about it. So once again, it says the man who became a self-made millionaire aged at 11, now 14, making $100K a month. So let me just kind of preface what happened in this story, right? This was a young man, and I believe when he first started, he wrote a book, very interesting and inspiring book. So he wrote a book, and then with his money from what he got from the book, he wanted to, I believe he told his mother he wanted to invest. And from there, I guess she guided him and helped him get a brokerage account. And from that point on, he started trading stocks under that account, right? And I guess he amassed from $3,000, he amassed to over, I think, 100,000 or a million. Let me go through and tell you guys exactly what is said in here. But this is super inspiring. And once again, guys, there's so much knowledge and information that there's no reason why we should not be able to have opportunities and do different things, right? Even if somebody does hold you down or you get to a glass ceiling, you still have the opportunity to get out there. And that's really what I want to inspire people with, right? So it says his name is True Jones. He became a self-made millionaire at the age of 11, and now he's 14, earning a staggering $100K a month. It says although he's only 14, Christian the True Jones has amassed a large fortune. He as an author, investor, and motivational speaker and businessman. And he says he began his journey with a book he first penned, The Wind Within. And it says he inspired by his experience in bullying. So this inspired him to write a book, and he said he hoped the book would help other children. So this was when he was 11, right? And then he says, with the help of his mother, he had his book published, and within 90 days, he made an impressive 5K on book sales. So by the age of 10, he became a best-selling author. Okay, so he must have wrote the book before that. So because it says by 10, he became a best-selling author, right? So I believe that's him now, right? It says determined to build his income, Jones became interested in the stock market after learning about a 14-year-old investor who made $50,000. And I remember that. I think that was on, I don't know if that was 60 Minutes or not. I remember seeing that young child that asked his mother. Well, his mother was telling him about his shoes. I believe that was the backstory. And the child kept wanting to buy Nikes. And she said, okay, instead of you buying Nikes every time, we're going to put some money in the stock market. And it got the little boy interested. And those are just like simple ways, guys, to get your kids interested, because they'll learn at such a faster and quicker rate. As long as they're interested in things, they learn very, very quickly. So you just have to expose your kids to stuff. I can tell you that as an educator. Just expose them to it. You don't even have to have the whole knowledge to teach them straight away, but expose them to it, right? And your mind will be blown, especially with the barrier of entry, especially doing trading and things of that nature, especially with the stock market. It's so much easier now for especially younger kids to learn, and you adults to learn, guys. Like I said, I taught myself the intricacies of it, and I remember studying this when I was in high school, and I was like, I don't get it. But as I got older, I was like, you know what? I want to learn about it. And literally, it's kind of a mindset thing. You know, it is a mindset thing. If you choose to tell your mind you can do it, you'll do it. If you choose to say, I can't do it, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, they're going to hold me down, right? If you have that mindset, that's what you're going to get, right? All right. And it basically says his mom explained to him, you know, the intricacies of it. And she said, and the jargon that they speak on the stock market. And he asked if he could open his brokerage account. And from that moment, the mom says he was serious. So this is him right here, guys. And he does like coaching calls. So it says, he says, as a result of that, he says he's a 14-year-old CEO of his business. And his business is called Truth Speaks. And he is a founder of the True Success Series. And this is so awesome because these young kids can inspire so many people. They just have to have that avenue, and they have to have somebody believing that they can do it. So kudos to his mother. It says where the teen hosts online masterclasses to share his knowledge of investing, which is good news for anyone wanting to follow in his footsteps. And so here we go. Let's see if we can hear him. This is him doing his masterclass.
20 great companies that are consistent and the price points are always go up. And where you can view that is, you go to Google, let's look up a company. We like to look at the 1 year. So Microsoft, MSFT, the symbol, they'll bring it up. Go to the 1 year chart.
OG, if you're in here, I gotta figure out this Nightbot. OG, if you're in here, I'm still learning Nightbot, so I'm sorry. I gotta figure out how he untimes you. But hey Wally, Nightbot was exactly. I don't know. Like my a Salamander Nelly. I'm sorry if you're in here too. I don't know what Nightbot is doing. I still have to trick it with it. But I see you guys. So let me see how to turn this down. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me check something out. Once again, if you're just coming in, hit the like button. Sorry, OG and not and Salamander Nelly. I don't know what it's doing. I'm new to it. But yeah, isn't that interesting and inspiring, guys, about what this young kid is doing? Give me 1 second, guys. Let me check it. All right, I think I fixed it. OG, if you're still here, try to type in the chat. Oh, okay, cool. And Salamander Nelly, can you try to type? My kids just showed me how to fix that. They're the ones that are over that thing, that stuff. I don't even know how to do all that. But anywho, okay, good. I see OG, she's here. And Salamander Nelly, can you type to make sure I can see you in the chat? Well, this is not about you need reprogramming. What you talking about? Yeah, I had to reset it. So it should be good now. OG, you can try. Okay, yep, I did it. I fixed it, OG. No, I just enabled it. No, I just enabled it. I don't know how many emojis I added, but I added some more. So yeah, guys, this is super cool. Like I said, this young guy, he became a millionaire, self-made millionaire. And you know what I'm noticing, guys? I'm noticing a lot of young kids are getting over that six-figure mark. A lot of them, just because they just kind of got innovation in their hearts. I know I say about a month or so ago, guys, when we were talking about NFTs on Freestyle Finesse Friday, I was telling you guys that a lot of kids are becoming millionaires from NFTs, kids that are under 18, right? So don't get it twisted, guys. You just kind of got to have a heart nowadays to just want to learn something, and you got to be consistent with learning it. And the barrier of entry is not high to learn these different things. It's just like you have to be really committed to sticking with it. You definitely have to be committed to sticking with it. Okay, guys, so let's get to the next story. I'm trying to get through these for you guys. If there's something that you guys seen in the chat or something that you wanted to talk about that you seen trending, let me know when I get the next story up. Once again, we just talked about the Justin Bieber, and we talked about his facial paralysis, if you didn't know, guys. And it's called, I think, Hunt syndrome. And it was something triggered from something else that he had. And he had to cancel the rest of all his tour. He had to cancel his whole tour. Excuse me. And my whole purpose to that conversation, as far as understanding and the education, and that is to show guys, you never know what could be going on with you at any time. You literally have to just always be cognizant of yourself, your body, how it's changing, because I think this just came up on him. Like I said, he's in the middle of a tour, and he has this paralysis, so half of his face does not move. And think about how scary that is when you're getting paid. And OG Patrice, I know you know this as far as performing, and anybody else in the chat that's an artist or performs, you know, a lot, if you're a performer, a lot of your aura, I guess you could say, is your looks, right? And then what you actually can do. So, but he was very positive about it. He talked about, you know, his faith in God and how he believes that, you know, God is with them and he's going to be okay. And he was super positive. So that was a great story. And we also talked about, if you did not know, and you've watched the Dancing Dolls or D4L, I believe they're on Lifetime for almost 5+ years, a big, huge dancing show about a dancing troupe traveling all around the South and the United States, performing, and what goes on with that. A child, she was 16, her name is Dy'Shea Hall, ended up being deleted in Atlanta yesterday with another child. I think his name is Javante. He was 17, outside of a Kroger. So we just talked about those things too, and it's horrible, horrible, horrible. But you know, like I said, man, these times, people need to pay attention and definitely just be cognizant of your family, your kids when you're out and about, and, you know, stay prayed up, guys. Don't sleep on praying, right? You need to just, even for those you don't care about and don't like, you don't know how a heart could change just because, you know, you showed that you could be better than them, right? All right, so talked about the self-made millionaire. Hopefully that was inspiring to you guys and your children. And as always, guys, you guys know I always try to get us some learning and education in here. And this is always important to me, guys, especially when we're dealing with wealth, health and wealth, and then money and how we can keep money. But like I said, this article here, this is showing you the reality of what's going on. Okay, Wally, I'm gonna pull that one up too, Wally. Let me go through this one. It says, amid record inflation, 36% of employees earning, you guys see this? Earning $100,000 or more say they are living paycheck to paycheck. And I knew this. I knew this just because, like I said, a lot of times people get so caught up in money and earning money, that they don't realize that's not wealth, right? So let me repeat what I said. People get caught up with money and earning money, that they don't realize that that's wealth. And the whole aspect of, working till you get a certain age, like you start working in your 20s and you got to work till you're 70 to get retirement and all those things. If you think about that, guys, like even it's become normal to most people because there's no option. They know I have to work till I'm 60 or 70. It is what it is. I just deal with it. But the simple fact that if you really think about that, how like depressing that is on your spirit to think you have to go 50 something years before you can take a break. I don't think people really even think about that. And so this concept right here of the people of making over $100,000, say that they're living paycheck to paycheck, almost 40% of them, I definitely believe that. And I say that because, like I said, a lot of people are living outside their means. And especially when you start getting into higher figures, making more money, you think that you can spend more money. So you're not really being smart with the money, I guess you could say. And I think you might get caught up in like keeping up with the Joneses or trying to look a certain way instead of just use your money and put it into things that are going to make you money, especially passively, right? So once again, let's break this down. Once again, these aren't the people. Remember, I told you guys, like we did this. I showed you guys a report before where it said almost 70% of people are making $15 or less or $10 or less, low income. 70% of the workers, something in that sense, right? And this is saying of the high earners, this is 100,000 or more. It's not 100,000 or less. Almost 40% of them are living paycheck to paycheck. So let's break this down. It says 36% of U.S. employees with salaries of 100,000 or more are living paycheck to paycheck, double the share in 2019, according to the Willis Towers Watson. It says the highest earners are the only income group that reported an increase over that time. All right. So they're saying the higher earners were getting more money, but they must have been spending way more than they're getting because they're living paycheck to paycheck, apparently. All right. So let's break this down. All right, so let's see what it says. It says more than a third of high-earning American workers feel strapped for cash, a share that has risen dramatically over the years. It says we already talked about the 36% of 100,000 or more are living paycheck to paycheck, and it says that's more than 34% of workers who earn 50,000 to 100,000 a year who are living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, so if we're breaking this down in brackets, we already know people they're making under 50,000. We already know that's considered, depending on how many are in the family, that's considered low income or lower bracket, right? And then it's saying for those making 50,000 to 100,000, almost 35% of them are living paycheck to paycheck, right? And these are the people that are reporting it, guys, right? So you got to think about, there might be a lot of people who's not reporting or being honest with it, right? And it says, though lower than 52% of paycheck to paycheck workers with incomes of less than 50,000, according to the survey. So so it says the lower income people making less than 50,000, only 52% of them said they're living paycheck to paycheck, which that correlation makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. It says employees at higher pay levels aren't immune to living paycheck to paycheck, says Mark Schmirk, the financial well-being market leader of North America at Willis Towers Watson. He polled almost 10,000 full-time workers from large and mid-sized private employers in December and January 2020 before the recent inflation. So he polled these people, guys, before we had this big inflation at the beginning of the year, right? So these are the numbers before the last 3 months. So we can hypothesize this is a lot higher now, right? And it says the findings are similar in a recent Lending Club survey that found 36% of people earning at least $250,000 live paycheck to paycheck. Did you guys hear that? This is sad as a society, right? It says 36% of people making $250,000 or $250,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. It says inflation may push more to live paycheck to paycheck. Quickly rising costs of food, transportation, and other areas of the household budget may put further stress on families and the ability to save money. All right. It says the consumer price index was up 86%. And the Federal Reserve raised its benchmark interest up 0.75% points on Wednesday, the largest increase in 94, as part of the ongoing effort to rein in on consumer costs. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. I'm not sure how many of you are out there trying to get houses and cars right now. But if you didn't know or you don't understand, the interest rates are going up. And the reason is to slow people down from buying things, right? Because if you have a little bit of understanding and common sense, you don't want to buy things when they're a lot higher. You never want to buy it when it's inflated, right? So they're raising it up so people will stop buying as much, so things will start dropping. So that's what they're doing right now. They're hoping that people slow up on buying houses and cars so it can level itself back out, right? Hold on. Let's see. Oh, hey, Papi, ¿cómo está? Hopefully you're having a great day today. Glad you are here, Papi Blanco. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, Luke Hazley. Hopefully you're having a great day too. Wally, I agree. They have to go. Let's see. Wally says, just kidding, but the liberals got to go. I've seen too much. The honesty of this, guys, is not shocking to me, but I think a lot of us need to hear this because, like I always see, especially, and I can tell you my experience, guys, from even students when they come, as an educator, when they come here from other countries, and to see how many of them do keep their culture, do keep their whole kind of essence, but literally, guys, after 2 weeks, these kids become Americanized. And I'm not even mad at them because they become Americanized, but I think more so they're Americanized because it's the only way to conform to fit in. Because American kids are going to eat you ragged. Like if, especially if you stand out. And you guys know, you remember how it was when you were in school. It just is what it is in school. It can be fixed and changed, and teachers like me and educators, you will nip stuff in the butt when we see it, but it's a lot of undercover things going on you just don't see, right? And I think, like I said, it's a coping mechanism. So if any of you ever were new to this country and you went to school, if you can kind of, in a couple sentences, tell us what that was like to you so we can get kind of some confirmation on that. It is so odd to me, though, when I see kids from other countries come here, and then when they come here, it's like they totally conform. And, they talk the way the American kids talk. They speak the way they speak. And when I'm talking about that, as far as vernacular and slang and stuff, and even like you can tell they didn't care about some things at first because of their culture, but like after like 2 weeks to a month, they're so into what's going on here. And I think it's kind of not traumatizing, but it's encapsulating, especially the Western culture, how we are here in America. A lot of times it's hard for people. It's a choice. I think you can choose to keep your culture, but the American way is what it is here. So I think a lot of times people they're just stuck on it. And let me know if you agree or disagree with that, or if you've seen that when you see people from other cultures or they're new to America. Do they change in your ideal? I know it as an educator. I've seen it so many times, and it's funny to me, but it's bittersweet because I'm like, if you just kind of keep your culture and kind of who you are, don't get so caught up in the Americanized culture, you won't lose yourself. Because after you do that for so many years, if you don't know who you are, you will lose yourself in American culture. Let's see. I'm doing great, Poppy. Hopefully you're having a great day. I appreciate that. I appreciate it, Poppy. I appreciate you. Let's see. Poppy and Lucas. Hola, ¿cómo está? Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Buenos dias to you too. And everybody here. I'm not just trying to segregate, but I am. So hopefully you guys are having a great day. Let's see. Hey, Peter the Investor, once again. Peter the Investor is a channel member, guys. So if you would consider joining the channel membership, I would appreciate that. It supports the channel. Everything from the memberships and super chats and everything you guys do, super thanks, go back into the channel for the equipment and everything we need to keep this thing rolling. So shout out to Peter Investor M for being a channel member. And once again, if you guys would like to do that, hit the join button and consider supporting the Finesse family here, as you guys always do. And if you haven't, hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button on the way in and share this, because sharing is caring. If any of you want to come up and talk about anything going on, once again, just let me know. I'll drop the link while I am prefacing through this stuff. Wally says he wants to talk about WWE, so let me find that. Let's see. Let's see. So yeah, once again, guys, if you're just getting in here, we're talking about inflation. We talked about earlier Justin Bieber's facial paralysis. We talked about the dancing doll, sad information out of Atlanta. 16-year-old girl got deleted in front of her progress. No parent reason. Nobody knows why. Just heinous crime. And now we're talking about the reality of what's going on, guys, which is this inflation. And this affects everybody. Once again, like I said, I don't know how many of you are actually looking at buying houses. I know many of you that are renting. If you are renting, I know you are seeing a sticker shock in the price of your rent. And guys, understand that market value is really what dictates your rent. So market value is literally what the area around you and the property costs. So if you like live in a better neighborhood, things of that nature, your rent is going to go up, and it's going to go up exorbitantly, right? And so it depends on the market value of the property around you, right? And I know that's all I've been seeing on reports that I've been reading about the rent costs. A lot of these renters, landlords are upping the price because they can, and because of inflation too, and the cost of living. And once again, like I said, guys, be cognizant of that. If you're renting, and I hope that you guys don't get too shocked about that, they're going to be raising these rental rates too, which is sad. It's super sad, but they're going to be raising the rates. I just read a story too the other day about this lady. I believe she lives in California, and she was basically. And let me know wherever you're at, what state you're at, if you've been hearing this from family, friends, or yourself. If the rent is going up in the areas you're at, let me know. So people that are coming in on the replay, and those of us that are watching the chat and listening, they can get confirmation on what's going on around the different states and the countries. And even if you're out of the country, I know Brethren's in Canada, let us know what's going on as far as the price and living, because like I said, the stories of the people that are renting, the stories of how much their rental increases are going up. I know big cities like, I believe, San Antonio, New York, Miami, the rent prices, guys, are going up. They say almost like 200%, so double. So you'll be paying something 1 year, and your landlord will raise it up almost double the price. And then what can you do? Because guess what? If they do, let me get this up. If they do raise the rent, guess what? In the area you're living at, you probably could, if not minimally, you could afford it, if that makes sense, right? So if you can't afford in the area that you're living in, if you can barely afford that and they raise the rent, where do you expect that there's going to be a rent, a price where you can afford it if the area you're at was comparable for you, right? I mean, you have to really think about that. And it's sad when you think about it too, because it's like, where are people going to go if they can't pay the rent, right? Where are they really going to go? And this is not just the issue that, just because you're sitting in your glass house and you're okay, your family's okay, that you shouldn't be concerned about what this will look like if this hits a trickle effect, right? I mean, when you really think about this, guys, I mean, where are these people going to go if they can't pay their rent and they can't afford areas that are comparable, right? And if you're saying, well, they can just go to subsidized living and they can go get an apartment and get what's that called, guys? What's that called? Where they pay your a portion of your rent. Oh, they'll get rental assistance, or they can get HUD or whatever. I don't know what the word is, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Put it in the chat if you know the word I'm looking for. But you guys have to realize this is a trickle effect. You understand? And I don't know if you guys been looking when you go grocery shopping, right? Because I go weekly. I'm telling you guys that meat is no joke. As far as in the family, we do good with as far as like meat. We're really toning down on that anyways. We've been doing that for a couple years. So it's good that, how we've as a family, sculpted how we eat. It's not, we're not super dependent on meat anyways. But good grief, guys, that meat price is getting ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Let's see. Luke Hazley, 20 says we imitate the American culture outside, but keep our native cultures in our home. And you know what, Luke Hazley? I'm gonna tell you something about this generation of kids. Your generation might do that, but I've talked to so many parents, Venezuelan, Puerto Rican, Haitian, parents from Europe, Asia. Obviously, because I consult with the parents too, especially when they're new students or if they're falling behind or they need help with something, or just sometimes I just call parents and tell them how good their kids do. I'm that teacher. I'll call your parent because you did something good. And so the parent doesn't always get that weird numb feeling when they see the school pop up because they think something's wrong with their child. So I'm that parent. I'll call and say, your kid did good this week. They learned this. I'm so proud of them. That's what I did, right? But anyways, a lot of the parents would tell me, Lucchese, listen, my child does not even speak the language. And I was so shocked how many kids that come from Spanish speaking families, they don't really even speak Spanish that well. A lot of them don't even speak Spanish. I was so shocked about that because I'm like this, especially if I speak another language, I want to keep my language. I don't care how much I might front in front of, like if I'm out or, especially if I move to another country, how I might conform to that country. But trust and believe, I'm going to keep my culture and keep those values. And yeah, I had a lot of students that they understand it, but they won't speak their language or they can't read it well or something like that. So shout out to you, Lucchese. White says, I wish I could buy a house if able, but at this point, sadly, no dice. No, don't even put that in your heart and mind right now, Wally, because like I said, it's a trick bag right now. And sometimes you need people to look out for you on that because like I said, it's not something that is feasible. Unless you got cash. Once again, this isn't financial advice. Let me put that up for some of you. For some of you start going, hell, talk to your financial advisor or tax advisor, right? So, but just from what I know, in my experience over years ago from buying a house, and it was a buyer's market back then. So I pretty much could put the price down for what we wanted on the house. So it was easy pickings. It was all kind of houses to pick years ago. But right now it's a seller's, buyer's market. Now it's a seller's market. And like I told you guys, to me, it is not sensible to pay for something when it's exorbitant, which means it costs way more than what it could cost, especially retail. Don't do it. It's not worth it. And that's the thing. A lot of these people are coming in cash buying, guys. They're coming in buying things cash, right? And so unless you got cash to do it, I definitely wouldn't do that. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's see. Poppy says, if you buy a house in the next 6 months, you will be upside. That's what I'm saying. You'll be upside down at the end of the next year. House prices are over, yes, 30 to 40%. And see, that's the thing. Like I said, sometimes we have to rationalize what we need in our emotions, because a lot of times we emotionally buy even these big ticket items. I mean, if you never bought a house before, it's a whole process anyways. When you get it, that's why it takes like what 30 to 40 days, like a month to 2 months to eat that whole process when you want to buy a house, because there's a lot of checks and balances that they do. So that whole process right there. But yeah. And that's why, like I said, I try to kind of layer this, kind of chunk this like a lesson from my understanding, from what I've learned in my experience, like I said, of reading and understanding over the years, especially about inflation. You never want to buy when it's up, right? And that's even, understanding the stock market and things of that nature, even crypto. You don't want to buy it when it's in the green, because that's when everybody is getting it. You want to buy it when it's low, but that's another whole string. But yeah, Poppy says everything is up 30 to 40%, and ergo why the rates are going up. The feds are raising the rates because they want less people to be buying, right? And more people buy. Think about it logically, guys. The more people buy, the price is going to go up because there is a demand for it, right? But when the demand starts to go down, the supply will increase, and then prices will drop. All right, so that's a nutshell of economics 101 right there, right? You always think about it that way. Let's see. Peter's saying, I hope you're adding to your long-term investment portfolio. Yes, this is the time. You're right, Peter. While saved your money, all that goes up, you must come down. Yep, exactly what I was explaining. Yeah, you guys don't get caught up in that crap. Do not get caught up in that. Feeling like because people are buying everything that you're missing out on something. You're not. You're being wise. And I was talking to a friend about that. They were in the middle of buying a house, I believe, last year. And I think it was like they were buying the house from an investor. And that's a whole other story. Those of you that are looking to buy houses, make sure you get a realtor. Just make sure that, all your P's and Q's are crossed, because you don't want to go under or get, caught in a scam or something. But the investor, when they were in the process of going through closing on the house, they found out that the investor owed something on the house, or there was another lien or something. And they couldn't get the house because they were kind of waiting on the investor to finish paying off whatever, or just a loophole. And they ended up not getting the house that they were, waiting for. So it's all kind of drama that goes on with that. Luke Casey says, California homeowner here. Okay, cool. Everything is expensive. Yeah, California was always that way from the beginning. She says, we're waiting for the to start charging us for breathing. Yeah. Okay, so you're hilarious. But yeah, it's interesting. And it's funny, guys. Let me know if I'm the only person that thought this. I talk to my husband about this type of stuff all the time. Isn't it kind of crazy that we got to pay for water and we have to pay for electricity? To me, I always thought that was crazy. Like, okay, where's electricity coming from? Okay, it's coming through the poles. So why am I paying for it? What is it costing you to give it to me? And water. Water's in the ground. Why am I paying for it? Especially in our house, we have like a whole purification system or whatever. So, even if the water was bad, it purifies all the water in the whole house, which was an excellent, add-on. But why? Or is it just me that thinks like that? Maybe I'm the only person. I don't know, guys. Hold on, let me get this up. Let me get Wally's story up. Let's see. Because it says language is tricky. If you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah, and that's interesting. It's so interesting to me, Lucchese, the choice of it though, because and it's funny. I always tell my students, listen, the fact that you can speak dually, stop trying to cover that up. That actually means your brain is processing at a higher freaking level. It's like I have to inspire them, especially the young adults. Like, a lot of them are kind of in the middle. They want the old culture, but they still want to kind of be with the Western culture. And I always tell them that, like, you guys are, if you choose to, processing at a super high level when you are speaking another language. So don't ever try to hide that, right? Okay. Pappy says, Lucchese, the average house in Cali is around 750K, and 50K people in Cali selling their homes for 100K and buying houses. Yes, I've seen that, Poppy, in Nevada, Arizona, and Texas for around 300 to 450 and flipping. Yes, I've seen that. And a lot of people also, Poppy, they're moving out of California and going to other areas because they know they can work remotely. So they can still get the California pay, but live in another state. So yeah, you're right on that. You're definitely right on that. I remember that. Yep. See, Poppy's on it. Poppy knows this is exactly what I was reading through. There's a schedule on this. I think every 6 months they were going to bring it up. He says the Fed's got 4 more interest rates scheduled. Yep, for the next 6 months. That means the prices on everything is going to go, especially the big ticket items, like I just told you guys, the cars and the houses and anything of that nature, big ticket things, guys, is going up. So just always, like I said, if you are exclusive with yourself, get some wise counsel on it. If obviously if you're in a relationship or married with a spouse, make sure that you guys don't use emotion when you are getting into this this whole idea of buying these big ticket items. Now, if you got it cash, knock yourself out. Now that's different if you got it cash. But even if you do have it cash, sometimes you got to think about the emotion of this item. Am I buying this because we need this? Or am I buying this just because we want it, because we want to look good, right? Think about that. And if, that's your choice. If you feel like you need to look good and be a certain way in front of other people, that's you. But understand that those people have nothing to do with your life and you living it. You understand what I'm saying? At a certain point, you got to be well with yourself and what you have. You get what I'm saying? Because when you're well with yourself and what you have, you won't get caught up in the emotion of getting more things. Now, I can tell you guys, I know I like nice things too, but what I'm not going to do is get caught up in the emotion of having it because you have it, and I want to look good in front of you. And I think that's kind of American culture with a lot of people. They just want it because they want to look good in front of other people. And to be honest, where does that get you? You're not really fulfilled at all in that state of mind because it's never enough, right? It's never enough. Poppy says, actually, a realtor would get you into a bad deal because they just want to make six. But it depends on who your realtor is, and that's why references are really, really good. Like the realtor, like I said, the realtor I know, she actually goes to my church, so she got me an excellent deal. She got us an excellent deal on the house, right? So that's also wise too. Like you said, Poppy, don't just go get a realtor. Please don't, because yes, their whole goal is to make money and get you to buy something. But always look for recommendations. Go look for referrals. Look at reviews online. Please don't go blindly into that. So thank you for saying that, Poppy. I definitely want to reiterate that. Do not go blindly into getting a realtor because the point of them is to get you to buy something. That's how they make money. So definitely go off of recommendations. Try to get referred from somebody. Don't just blindly go out there. Yes, that's a good point, Poppy. Peter the Investor says, because of the inflation, people will tighten their budget and go into stores with huge bargains, i.e. the dollar store. But you know what, Peter Investor? A lot of these stores are going up too. Even the Dollar Tree. I don't know how many you have Dollar Trees around, but they just did reports saying that last year they were going to go up to $1.25 on stuff. So I don't think that price hike is stopping even at the little cheaper stores or dollar stores, right? Everywhere is going up. Everywhere. But yeah, Peter, yes. Poppy says, stay away from buying a house or car for the next 12 months. You don't want to buy a house for $4,000 when you can wait 12 months and get it for $275 or $300. You don't want a car with 17% interest rate. That's true. And this is what I'm saying, guys. Don't be emotional about this. Do not just go get something because the emotions of this. This is why I keep saying this to my finesse friends, because guess what? To be honest, we're still humans. And sometimes you need to hear that as escuchan. You have to listen to, because sometimes we are emotional. So who's to say that you or somebody else knows logically you shouldn't do it, but your emotions or how the car gonna make you feel, or you seen the car commercial and you was on the beach with all the scantily clad women, or you driving down the, I don't know, the ocean, and you see your car and your hair flying in the wind or whatever, the cowboy, that's the three things they always put in car commercials. But I just want to honestly say that to you guys because it sounds like it makes common sense. You shouldn't do that, but guess what? The reality of it is we all can get caught up in emotions, right? And sometimes you got to keep hearing this over and over. And that's why a lot of things I keep saying over and over to you guys, because we're still human, right? We all, have income, we work, and there's things that, we feel like we need or we have to have to sustain, right? So sometimes you got to keep hearing this conversation. And I'm definitely going to always infuse this somehow every Finesse Friday, dealing with this money and economy, some topic, something about that, because we need to keep hearing this, especially those that are on the replay, watching, those coming in that are new to the Finesse fam. They don't know anything about what we do here. This money part is important, right? We already know your health is your wealth, but you still got to have that cognition about what to do. And a lot of us here, we have experience in things, right? We have understanding to know, like, we can tell you, like, you don't want to do this, and we'll tell you why. We're not just bashing, saying don't do it, that's stupid, that's dumb. I hate when people do that. That shows ignorance. Don't just tell me don't do something. Explain to me why, and then give me the opportunity to choose. Because if you still go buy the car or get the house, more power to you. I'm not telling you don't do it and do it. I'm giving you the evidence, and I'm giving you the data that shows that you shouldn't. But if you want to or you don't want to, whatever, right? But I always want to give you guys that evidence, that data to help you. Poppy says, you right, Miss Finesse. Realtor is your friend, so she cares about your pocket. Yeah, and Poppy, to be honest, I don't trust nobody. So even when we were like looking for the house and stuff like that, I was still like, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I've been, known her for years, and she was the one to let me know when you're ready. I got you. I already know what you want. I know how you guys' family is. You just let me know. And it was a great experience because I didn't feel like somebody was pressuring me to buy something, or I didn't feel like somebody was trying to make a nickel and dime me. And if anybody does make something, I want it to be my people, right? I want it to be somebody that I know and care about and love. So I definitely wouldn't mind her making that, because she's somebody that I care about and has always, done for our family. So let's see. Poppy says dollar store is charging $132 nowadays. So I know it's so weird. Everything's gone up. Lucchese says it's also contagious. People that start panicking because others are doing it. Remember the toilet paper crisis, right? When the pandemic, yeah, and it's so weird because, like I said, Lucchese, I think that's where the emotion comes, and that's why a lot of people are going to start buying a lot of things because they think they're missing out on something. It's that fear tactic, and it's crazy when you think about it. Also, guys, if you're just getting in, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Share this information if it's pertinent. You like what you hear, what we're talking about, go ahead and share it, because once again, we're trying to get out here and help each other get this information. All right, so let me see. Wally said, let me find something. He said, Ed, where was it, Wally? Wally, retype what you put in again. You said something about Ed McMahon. Let me find the article on it. McMahon. Okay, what did you want me to look up, Wally? I forgot what you said it was. You said, I know it's WWE stuff. Let's see. He drops. Oh, Vince. I said Ed McMahon. Vince McMahon. Okay, so did he start it? Hold on. Did Vince McMahon say Vince McMahon fell off a tower? Oh, he steps down. Okay, let me bring that up, Wally. This is for Wally. He wanted to talk about this. Okay. Oh, that's a good question. Did any of you guys do that? I seen that split. I seen that. Poppy was asking Peter a question, but that is a good question. I want to know if you guys did that. He says, did you jump in the Tesla before they did that 3-1 split? And didn't Amazon do a split too? I thought Amazon did a split also. They did, because they sent me something. Amazon did a split too. I don't know if it was like a 10-1 or 21. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. We got it says WWE boss Vince McMahon steps down as investigation starts into claims he paid ex-employee $3 million to stay quiet about an affair. Ay, Dios míos. Good grief. Let me see if I can get another source though, because I try to find reliable, good sources on this stuff. Let me see. Essentially sports. McMahon looked and iconically surfaced. Investigates. Okay. These are different kind of talk sites. I just mentioned it, Oh, okay. Well, basically, Wally, it says the board investigates billionaire CEO Vince McMahon. He's 76, guys. For hush money payments to his female employees, including paralegal, he gave $3 million to after their affair ended. Good googly moo. So that's what's going on with them. Okay. I hope this one comes up, guys. I wanted to see if some of you have ever done this before. I got two kind of funny things real quick to talk about. So I'm gonna set the play. All right, guys, let me see if I can get this one to come up correctly. All right. So I was looking at something, and let me see if I can get it up. All right, so it was a guy. Oopsie. Guys, have you ever been in a store, in a grocery store, and you get in line and you're trying to get out the store quick, right? Let me know in the chat if you have, put a 1 if you experience this. And you trying to get in the quick lane, right? The 10 or less lane at the grocery store or Walmart or whatever you at, right? And somebody gets in front of you and they got like way more than 10 items. Have you guys ever experienced that? And how did you respond? So you're in a grocery store, it says 5 or less or 10 less items, and the people in front of you have way more than 10. What do you do? Do you say something? Do you just patiently wait? Or which one do you do? Or do you say something to the cashier? They got more than 10 items. Let me see if I can get this story up. Hold on, let me get that one. Let me bring it up. Because this older gentleman, he had a fit, guys. It says, they had 50 items. So this is older gentleman. I see he was a senior. He probably was in his 60s or 70s. And he says they have 50 items. It says 10. He said, man shouts at a Publix cashier for allowing customers with more than 10 items in express lane to check out. What would you guys do in this situation? Would you say something? Would you just patiently wait and just... This story will make some of you chuckle. I know it. And you guys know, laughter heals the soul. So I definitely want to make you guys laugh too. I don't want it always to be just, Okay, so hopefully I can get the video. Okay, good. The video. Okay, I got the video, guys. You guys are going to crack up. First, let me see what you guys are saying. What would you do in this situation? Are you guys going to say something? Would you say something to the person that's in front of you that has more than 10 items? Or would you just patiently wait in line? Or would you say something to the cashier? To the person in line with 10 or more items in a express checkout lane? To the cashier? Or would you just patiently sit there and be quiet? Which one would you guys do? Let me bring it up. And I'm gonna show you guys a video of this older gentleman. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be honest. I understand where the older gentleman is coming from. Because I'm going to read to you guys what people were saying about if they agreed or disagreed with how he acted. Let me tell you something about older people. They don't care. When they get to a certain age in life, they don't do and say what they want. I know my granny does, and I love her to death, right? They don't say and do what they want because they done lived their life out. They don't care, right? So they're going to do and say what they want. So to a certain degree, you can't really stop them. You can, but so let me get this up for you guys. I'm trying to bring this screen over here. All right. Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying. Make sure you guys hitting the like button. Make sure you're sharing, because sharing is caring. And hit the thumbs up, guys, on the way in. And share this with somebody so we can all have this conversation and talk. Let's see. Luke Hazley said, oh, yeah, Poppy. So you knew what I was talking about. Poppy says Amazon had a 23-1 split 2 weeks ago. Yes, yep, because they sent me something about it. Luke Hazley says, sometimes I question these harassment claims. In year 35 years plus working in the private and public sector, I have never experienced harassment. I think it has to do with the way one cares himself. I think it does. I think it's different things, Lucchese, with it. I think it's the environment. It's the perspective of whoever's receiving it. It's what happened like before the situation occurred. It's so many different things. It's so many things. So, oopsie, let me get this up. Okay, guys, let's get to this. It's going. Okay, can you hear me now? Let me see. How do I sound? Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you hear me, because he said it was going in and out. It's probably because I was moving, Lucchese. Okay. I was moving around doing something in the mic. I had muted the mic for a second because I was moving around. Put a 1 in the chat, guys, if I sound good, if you hear me well. Let me get this up for you guys. So anyways, guys, like I said, this older gentleman went off. This is something to make you guys smile and chuckle a little bit. Once again, let me know if you guys hear me well. Put a 1 in the chat so I know. Let's see. Luke Hesley says, my life is too precious to argue with a random person in public. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, that's what behooved me about it, Luke Hesley, was the simple fact that it's one thing to say, man, you got too many items, and just be quiet. Because, some people, that's just their temperament. They're just going to say what they want to say anyways, but they're not going to make a scene. They'll just say something, right? But this older gentleman, I'm about to show you guys. He was real bold. He was bold because I was just like, so let me break the scene for you guys once again. All right. So we talking about, the guy says 50 items. He says, it says 10. Man at a Publix cashier is allowing customers to have more than 10 items in the express lane. So it says there's a viral video of a grocery store customer vehemently insisting that the stores need to enforce their policies. He says, it started as a loud complaint that the customer turned into an argument with the Publix cashier, who suggested he had to go to another checkout on his next visit if he had a problem. I didn't even remember reading this part. It said that he would have to go to another checkout if he had a problem with cashiers serving customers with more than 10 items in express lane. Now, number one, do you think that's right for them to tell this guy that if he's spending his money in the store? How would you guys feel if they told you that? If you did, maybe say one sentence like, oh, you shouldn't be in this lane. And they told you go in another lane if you got a problem. I think once again, you got to be careful. I know whenever I go into a service area, I know what those people are going through, just period. Just you can look at their face and tell that they're going through things, right? So I always try to make it a point to treat them well, just period. I don't care what's happening. I always right? So my mindset when I see this is even like I said, when I go to any type of place where there's customer service, retail, or somebody is attending to me, I always look for the humanity in the people. Period. I don't care even if they messed up. I look for the humanity in the person, and I always try to, if let's say they forget to say hello. I rarely experience that. Most cashiers or people that work in retail or, at a restaurant, they always speak to you. But if they don't, guess who's the first person to say hi to them? Me, because guess what? They having a rough day probably, or they stressed out. So why would I choose to just say, well, why didn't they talk to me? Why didn't they smile at me? No, I know you probably going through something, because normally I know you probably would speak to people and say hello. That's your job. So I'm the one that will, start the conversation. Hey, hopefully you're having a great day, or how are you? And you guys don't understand, a lot of times you are contingent to the response you get, right? So even if you deserve attention, you deserve to be spoken to correctly, you deserve whatever you deserve. A lot of times you don't really understand what's going on in that person's mind. And a lot of times they don't have an intention to hurt you or be rude or malicious. It's just their emotions. And I know every time, it's never been not one time, guys. It's never been a time where I've asked somebody, how are you, or how's your day? That's one of my service providers, even if they forgot to ask me, or they did ask me, that they didn't turn that frown into a smile. Every time. I haven't had one time somebody kept being rude or mean, or I could tell they had a bad day and I, just said something encouraging or nice to them. Never. So a lot of times we got to stop waiting for people to give us a response that we feel like we deserve. A lot of times you don't know what folks are going through, and yourself, you've been going through stuff before, and you had a bad day and a pissy attitude. Excuse my French. And you just needed somebody to smile at you, or needed somebody to say hello, or just needed somebody to change the thought process of your mind at that point and say something friendly to you, right? So understand that, guys. Understand that with people. Like, don't always get caught up in your first response that they're just a mean person, a bad person, or rude. No, you don't know what these people are going through, right? You have no clue. Let's see. Okay, Peter says, Poppy, a stock split really doesn't affect the price. No, it doesn't affect the price. It just makes more shares, but makes them seem more affordable to buy at 200 than 600, for example. The key is to have great low price entry. Yes, you're right, Peter. Thank you for that. Hey, Shaquana, hopefully you're having a great day today. Glad you are here. You said you hear me well. Let's see. Bobby says, if y'all gonna be bold and pressing people at the grocery store, y'all better have it right on that, because you never know how they gonna react. How to leave them alone. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know what people are going through. And not to say they got the right to talk to you a certain way, but come on. So let me finish this and let you guys see this man. You guys are gonna crack up when you see this older gentleman. So it says, okay, what started as a loud complaint from the customer turned into an argument with the Publix cashier. And he went ham, guys, I'm telling you, who suggested he go to another checkout on his next visit if he had a problem with the cashier serving customers with more than 10 items in express lane. In the first video, the customer shouts 10 or fewer repeatedly while waiting in line. The second clip shows still arguing with the employee. If you don't like it, you don't have to come through this line either, the cashier says. Now, to me, that part right there, I think she should have, if she was going to quorum, I just wouldn't have said anything to him. Number one, I wouldn't have said anything to him as a cashier just to let it pass. And number two, I wouldn't have said anything to him because the more you go back and forth with people, the argument doesn't stop. So somebody has to be adult. Even though he was wrong, I think at that point, I wouldn't argue with him. I just would ignore him and check him. I wouldn't say nothing to him because he went ham, right? And this is another employee asked what the problem is, and the cashier explains to the man they had like 50 items. It says 10. The customer says, pointing at the sign. Now, you guys tell me if he was wrong for this. No, the cashier. I want you to listen to her response, and you tell me if that was. The video, I'm about to play it now. Okay, put one in the chat if you guys hear it. I want to make sure you can hear it well. Put one in the chat if you can hear the video well. Because I want to make sure you guys hear the man talking. Once again, guys, if you are just coming in, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. And if you did want to come up and talk about a topic, let me know. I'll drop the link for you guys. And we'll get through this. Okay, guys. Here we go. Okay, good. Here we go.
You should not say it. It's 10 or fewer. Just keep checking out 10 or fewer. That was the whole thing.
Ay, Dios míos. Ah. And I have muted it, guys. Thank you, Shaquana. I hadn't looked down. I was looking over at my other screen. Okay, well, let me break this down again, guys. Sorry. I had muted it when the video played. Okay, so it says some commenters sided with the man who raised a complaint, writing that the other customers should have respected the limit and that public employees should have a better enforce it. So these are what people said under this video. Another person commented he should be chewing out the customer that brought way more items. He says cashiers don't have authority to turn away customers' use. And that's my perspective too. I mean, especially if I have a business, I'm not about to have one of my cashiers turn away any of my customers. I might lightly mention it as a cashier when you get up, when they get up to the lane, but I would be very respectful. I wouldn't be crude and rude to the customer. But I mean, customers will get it if you just kind of politely tell them, you know, this is 10 unless I do it this time, but can you please go on the right lane? Like people normally that have, you know, that are rational people, they let that stuff slide. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to take it to heart, right? Another commenter said, if it says 10 or fewer and you have at least 20 items, you should be told to go to another lane and take that sign down. And then another one said, I'm on the customer side. They shouldn't have a sign that says it, an employee getting smart. I prefer self-checkout. And that's one thing I do too, guys. Listen, I always go to self-checkout because I'm trying to get in and out anyways. But I want you guys to listen to the cashier and tell me if you agree or disagree with how she spoke to this man. All right. So I'm going to play the second video. Once again, if you're coming in, hit the thumbs up, share, because sharing is caring. And also, if you want to help support the channel, consider joining the Finesse Family Channel membership. Here we go.
And if you don't like it, you don't have to come through my
You're exactly right.
Exactly.
I'm not mad. It's like 50 items. It says 10.
And you're gonna have
Follow
to read.
the
You're
rules.
gonna have to read your card first.
Okay, so let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think she was rude? Do you think she was wrong for that? Let me try to see if I can get it up again.
You don't have to come through my
You're
line.
exactly right.
Exactly.
Weird silence.
I'm not mad. It's like 50 items. It says 10.
And you're gonna have to
Follow
read.
the
You're gonna
rules.
have to read your card first.
And I don't know if you guys heard that, but the first lady apologized. The lady that came, that probably was like a she probably was like a manager or maybe like a cashier manager. But if you listen, she said, "Oh, sir, I apologize for what you're going through, and I'm sorry that you had to experience that." But somebody let me know if you believe, because she was young, the cashier, because she looks like a little teenager. Do you believe if she was older, she wouldn't respond that way? Because that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at her age, and I'm wondering. I understand you're having a bad day because you know what he said to you, and maybe he's getting under your skin. But her response, I don't know, guys. I don't think it was warranted, especially as loud as she was.
And I said it with the
Well, then you should not say it. It's 10 or fewer. Just keep checking out 10 or fewer.
Okay, so she said, this is my line, and basically I can do what I want to do in my line. Guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not about to argue with a customer in front of my other customers. And this is where decorum comes. I know at this point, if you're watching the video, the guy does not have the right to be addressing or attacking the cashier. But guess what? I told you guys, there's always an equal and opposite response to every action and interaction you do. And it's a choice that you make. Now, the choice is, I know I'm right, so I'm going to argue with him in front of everybody and make myself look, you know, maybe classless in a sense. Or I can just be quiet and let him look like a fool and keep yelling and have my dignity, because he cannot take away something I don't give to him, which is my dignity. I'm not about to argue with him. So let me know if you guys disagree with that perspective. Let me know. But I just, at that point,
That was the whole thing.
And then here's her responding again, and then I'm gonna see what you guys have to say. Let me know in the chat if you agree with the cashier or the
And if you
customer.
don't like it, you don't have to come through my line.
You're exactly right.
Exactly.
I'm not mad. Like, see, like 50 items, it says 10.
And you're gonna
Follow
have to
the
redo, you're
rules.
gonna have to redo your card.
Okay, so it says others supported the cashier and the person filming who told the man he was in the wrong or remarked on the way the man spoke to the cashier. It says, somebody says, this is a commenter on this video, says, I worked at Walmart and we can't refuse any customer in the express lane. All right, so this is what somebody's saying. They said, but love how you stood up to him. So I guess the girl, they loved how the girl stood up to him. Another commenter said, some of y'all really think customer service workers are supposed to just sit there and take bad treatment with a smile because it's their job. Another customer wrote, okay. Another person said, I've cashiered and I'm sick of people treating people like a machine, the commenter wrote. That man disrespected the person helping him. So let me know, do you guys feel like he was disrespecting or not? What is your perspective on that? Lucchese 20 says, at that point, the cashier should have called for another register to be open. Good point. Exactly. Because if that line started getting busy, should have been open. But I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Publix or you've been to a grocery store, but a lot of times, unless it's like a small mom and pop store, there's always multiple lanes open, at least 2 to 3. So I think at that point, the guy could have chose which lane he wants to go to. But I get it. If he had one item and he's in the fast lane, that's the purpose of the fast lane. He's trying to get out of there. So I get it. And then Lucchese says she should have called for another register to be open and take the one with the 10 or more items. She did not handle the situation too well. Yep. And then that's the response that she got from that guy. Like I said, I'm looking at it, like I said, in both perspectives. And to me, I understand as far as that fast lane, especially when you guys know you got somewhere to go. You wonder why people do that. But I guess, like I said, they're trying to check out just like you. But to me personally, I don't think the young lady should have responded the way she should have the second time. Now, you see that you're going back and forth with him. That's just me as far as me honor and my dignity. And you're not about to take my dignity from me. You're not about to take anything from me because we don't respond. Okay, people don't make you respond and people don't make you do anything. You choose to do it. So I think she's a younger girl too. I think she was just kind of ticked off already just because he said something. And I would have just ignored him because he would have looked so stupid. And you know what would have happened, which was probably happening anyways? The people in line would have said something. They would have said, man, be quiet or shut up. Or you guys know how people are in line. I've seen it before. Like, you don't have to say anything. People will stick up for the cashiers and the waiters and whoever else, right? So I think just her going back and forth, and then, like I said, the manager, whoever the other lady was that walked in and said, is everything okay? That kind of showed you whatever the decorum was going on because she apologized to the man. So how can I sit and yell at my place of work, and the managers, whoever else is here to help me, they're not sticking up for me? That's showing us that something is not relatable or right. Or maybe she's having a bad day, like I said. And then if you listen to the guy, she said the young cashier was like, oh, he's just mad. He's mad. And the guy looked pretty calm. He's like, I'm not mad. I'm just saying, I don't know why that person was in the line. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying about it. Lucchese, that's public, which is like Walmart 2.0 crazy. It happens there every minute. This got to be in Florida. I don't know if this is in Florida. I didn't even look at it. But listen, Poppy, yes, see, because something else happened in Florida. I talked about it last year. What happened? Something happened in Florida. They were yelling about something in the Publix. And I talked about it last year on our Freestyle Finesse Friday, but because it says, yes, Publix is messy. I lived in Florida for about 15 years and saw some stuff. Yeah, but like I said, to me, guys, I always look at the principle stuff, and I look at the honor level of something, and I don't care what you say to me. And I tell my students this all the time, even young adults. I tell them this: it's hard to walk away from a fight, but it's easy to start one or be in one, right? So I said, as long as that don't get in your atmosphere and get in your personal space and or touch you, you Gucci, walk away. You understand what I'm saying? But my whole thing, like I said, is you are in control of any situation, the escalation of it and not. And like I said, even with the situation, I'm pretty sure one of those men in that line would have stood up for that girl if that guy kept yelling and she said not a word. She just kept ringing up and attended to that customer, because guess what? That's not customer service. She's yelling at a customer, 3 customers back, and I'm standing right here next to you. I would take offense to that, because I need you to pay attention to me. You ringing me up right now. And the fact you spend all that energy and time, and I'm sitting there smiling at you, engaging with you, yelling at the idiot behind me, you got to have control too. All right. Let's see. Peter says, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Both are wrong, but if someone argue with on a valid point, don't argue back. Pretty much. And like I said, guys, a lot of times it's just emotions, and I get it. I didn't say the young child didn't have a right to say something back, but the question is the judgment of it. Should she have said something back? Especially when you see he kept going. Now I can see if the man might have said one thing, whatever, you felt it in your spirit to just yell back at him. That's you, right? But you always have to realize, like, she could say something back, and she could have been honorable about what she said, and she could have been right, and then she lose her job, right? So now she's lost her job over a short choice of a decision that she probably wouldn't have made if she wasn't having a bad day, or the guy wasn't egging it on, or she didn't, or she just might have choose not to do it. You get what I'm saying? So once again, yeah, everybody was wrong in this situation. But like I said, I'm thinking about this woman's livelihood, because this is her job. Right, she needs this. Obviously, she wouldn't be there if she didn't need a job. So she definitely has to be careful about who she lets do whatever. And what I would have did, I definitely would have called for a manager. That's why they get paid. That's why they get paid more. I would have called for a manager. I wouldn't have wasted my pretty energy and breath saying a word to him. I would have manager on one, customer assistance. That's not her job to yell back at him. That's the manager's job, to deal with complaints and customer issues. So that's how I would have handled that. I wouldn't have entertained it. Okay, so the verbal exchange also tells me that the younger party has said that, and that. Thank you, Lucas. You said my point. It was the respect factor. It was that energy, and I see it so much in how the younger generation responds to the elders or older people. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say the older people and elder people are walking around as perfection, because that's y'all problem. A lot of you guys are on a high horse, and you don't want to talk about that. You know, you slept around when you were younger, and you smoked, and you did all the things that this young generation is doing, but you don't want to come at them on that level. You want to talk down at them. So my biggest thing, like I said, was the respect thing. How she yelled, like, okay, it's one thing to say, sir, you don't need to be talking to me like that. And that's still sticking up for yourself. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, it's a way that she could, have a decorum about herself, because she's respectable. I don't gotta raise my voice to none of y'all to show that you gotta give me respect. I don't have to do that, to be honest. The more, you know what I'm saying, in control you are of a situation, the more down tone that voice is, and you don't gotta do all that. People that don't have control yell and do all that stuff. Ergo, the reason why you yell, because you don't have control. And that is the whole arbitros of it, Lucchese. The fact that the exchange happened, and you could tell she gave 0 F's about that guy and going back and forth with him, but that's not going to fare her well. Let's say she gets a great job, or she moves up, and what if she still keeps that attitude and nobody ever let her know, like, listen, he was wrong, but you don't have to respond that way, or let her know, like, you can't do that with everybody, like Bobby Blanco said earlier. You don't know what kind of fools you're dealing with in this world, guys. You have no clue. You got to be careful about where your emotions are going to take you, because like I said, the other person, you don't know what they're going through. This could be their last day. They could be ready to delete themselves or something. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not about right or wrong. Sometimes you just have to walk away and still have your life, because we just went over, guys. I just talked about the young child that with the dancing dolls, and the Lifetime TV show that was on for years. Everybody loved watching that show, and just because she was at the wrong place at the wrong time, somebody deleted her and another young 17-year-old boy. And from the reports, nothing is said that it was anything that she caused or anything she did. They just got caught in gunfire, And so you have to be cognizant of that, and that's one thing. It's a blessing that I do get the younger generation. They do listen to me. And all the years I've been teaching, I've never had an issue with, students being disrespectful and not listening and honoring me. And I think, like I said, it's a decorum of I balance my teaching styles, basically how I parent. And I let them know there is going to be a respect level, and that this is what you will and won't do, but it's with love. I don't think I've ever came into a classroom and ever told a student or a group of students, you're going to respect me. No, that's given. You know, by my facial expression, you're going to respect me. I've never said those things. You're going to respect me. And it's sad. A lot of teachers have to say that or yell at the kids to get them to listen, but I've never said that. And it's a decorum and manner that how I hold myself. How I'm at a high regard that the students have such a respect for me that they don't want to dishonor me. They don't want to say anything lascivious to me. They don't even, my classroom rule, guys, and you probably won't believe this, but it was true. No cursing in my classroom. Students cannot cuss. Now, teenagers cuss. But you know what I respected so much about those students is the ones that couldn't control their cussing. I was like, Miss, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize. So they rectified the situation, even though they did make a mistake. And I love that because that's really how you learn. You learn by self-correcting yourself. Not somebody telling you what you should do right, but you self-correcting. So I always would give my students honor for that because you are aware that you shouldn't do it and you are working to change it. And that's how you become a better person, period. When you work to change your flaws or your faults on your own without somebody checking you or yelling at you or telling you ain't nothing or telling you should do that, or ergo arguing like this situation here. That's a very, very teachable moment. You know what I'm saying? She had the right to say what she said, but should she have? And we don't know if this young lady lost her job because of it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. Let's see. Peter Investor says, Lucchese, 20 facts, no decorum. There's a lot of disrespect. Yep. Oh, sorry, Lucchese. I don't know what I added the thing on the Nightbot, Lucchese. I added 50, so I don't know why it's telling you guys that, but I'm gonna work on it after the stream, guys. Guys, don't mind Nightbot. It's my first time like using him or whatever, and my kids are setting it up for me, so I got to go back and change some stuff. So if he says something to you, just don't mind it because it's not me. I guess I got to go and edit some more stuff. So Nightbot, stop it. Peter the Investor says not just in Walmart. I also see it on other venues like banks, health facilities, and sporting events. I mean, it's getting crazy, guys. It's like I told you, this whole thing is about emotions and it's a mindset thing. I know my students just tell me this all the time. I'm just telling you from the youth what they say. They say, I'm not going to give this other older person or this teacher or my parents respect, Miss B, because they don't respect me. You got to give it to get it. They love saying that mess. You got to give it to give it, Miss B. I said, you don't disrespect me. You don't cuss at me. You don't raise your voice to me. Miss, because we respect you and we love you and we know that you care. Okay. And just because you don't like a teacher, you feel like you don't like your parent, don't mean they don't care and don't mean they do anything for you. So you got to stop that. And it takes an adult they love and respect to check them because they're not going to listen to an adult they don't respect or somebody that they feel like doesn't have the right to give them authority check. But I check that crap all the time. And plus I look a lot younger. So, they attribute me to being close to their age, if not far off, because I look younger. So, I check that crap all the time. And a lot of times it's the way you deal with it because, it's a way I got to check it with one kid and I got to check it differently with another kid because they might not need all that. Some kids are super sensitive. So it's a way you handle people. And I can't stand people that treat everybody the same, especially when you deal with a character check or you're dealing with constructive criticism. You need to understand a basic principle of psychology is everybody is not the same. So you got to be careful how you talk to people, guys. It's your tone too. Some of you guys know you got a horrible tone and you need to cut it out. Oh, I got another funny one for you guys real quick. Let me see if I can get this one up. You guys are going to crack up at this one. So let's see. Lucchese said, LOL, just gotta. Yeah, Lucchese, just don't entertain it. Don't pay any attention to it. I think it kicked OG Patrice out. But OG did come back and speak to me, so thank you. But yeah, I gotta go. I didn't know I had to adjust settings with that because, like I said, this is only like my second time using it. My daughter set it up for me. So yeah, charge it to the game, not my heart. You guys know I love you. Let's see. Lucchese says, Peter Investor, terrible. The younger generation sadly thinks they are entitled to be treated equally. Yeah, and it's have it your way. I say it to them all the time because yes, so you guys like have this Burger King mentality, or is that McDonald's? I don't even know which one. I don't really eat fast food, but I think it's, I don't know, Burger King, McDonald's, whatever is have it your way. It's like they feel like they don't have to do anything, but they should get everything. And I tell them, you don't want to live your life like that. I tell them the hard truths of life, and that's why they love engaging and listening and even interacting in lessons, because I always, no matter what I'm talking about, I always put life reality lessons in whatever I'm teaching them. I always do that because I feel like I would do them an injustice if I put them out in this world and don't talk about the reality of what goes on in the world and how you should treat people and how you should reflect yourself and how every fight is not yours. I don't care. I tell them that all day, every day. And I don't think enough teachers are saying that. And it's just hard because, you know, a lot of teachers, they got, you know, butthole administrators and principals and have to stick to a certain course or curriculum. And I don't care. I add that in every lesson I talk about. I talk about life lessons with students from college all the way down. Okay, so let me get this one. You guys are gonna crack up at this. I want to know, has anybody done this though? Has anybody in the chat done this? All right, this is another funny one to make you guys smile. This guy, okay, apparently guys, since you guys are talking about messy Publix and messy Walmart, this guy, guys, he was at a Walmart, right? And he's waiting. Have you guys ever had the issue you at Walmart and you waiting in like the electronics section or somewhere and you don't see nobody in sight, right? And you waiting to get checked out or something? Have you ever had that problem? Let me know in the chat, yes or no. You're at any facility, mostly Walmart, but anywhere, and you're waiting to get checked out and you cannot find anybody to check you out. Let me bring this up. I'm gonna tell you what this guy did. This is funny and it'll make you guys chuckle. Okay, so here we go. Oh, thank you, Lucas. I appreciate that. She said, Miss Finesse, thank goodness you're teaching them real. Yeah, listen, and that's one thing like that is not taught in school, Lucas. And like I said, I that was just part of my lessons ever since I was a teacher. I said, there's no way I can let these kids, I don't care if they have money or not, go out into this world. Even my kids that I've taught that had a lot of money, I've taught in $1 million schools before, guys. And I always let them know, listen, you don't want to be known just kind of for what you had and ride that coattail, because guess what? Money can be fleeting. It could come and go. And you want to be able to stand on your own. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to create your own legacy, even if you don't have your parents backing. So yeah, I mean, I would be remiss if I had that opportunity to touch 200 plus kids a year and I did not teach them life lessons. I don't care how rich or poor they are, smart or not smart they are. I don't care. Like that, it was always my goal. I want them to learn life lessons from me, even over the curriculum, because you know, you could do bad or flunk out or even drop out of school, but those life lessons are going to stay with you forever. Like, guys, I've had kids come back to the classroom or to find me at another school or something and say, listen, Mrs. B, like what you said to me, you thought I wasn't listening. I was listening to everything, guys. I've got letters from kids, I've got cards, and guess what? You know, a teenager is not handwriting a doggone thing. And that's what I appreciate so much about my students, because I know in the past 5 to 10 years, people do not handwrite anything. People do not write down their thoughts, and especially not about to be a teenager. And you know, the fact that, you know, students would take time, especially end of the year or holidays or birthdays, and have their parents write me notes and say how much, you know, I've helped their child, and or even the child, student, teenager. That I took that stuff like personal, because like I said, I know they don't like to handwrite anything. So if they would give me a card and say how much I helped them or encouraged them, or inspired them, and especially my second language learners, my Spanish students, my Venezuelan students, they would write me cards in English, because you know, they said I helped them get their English to the Spanish to English, and that I encouraged them to not give up. And a lot of cards, you know, they would write me in their language, and it just, like I said, it spans. I mean, I could do a whole 20-hour stream on my students over the years. And it lets me know they're not lost. So please stop saying that and stop assuming that the youth are lost. They're not. They need a light. They need somebody that can be a light around them in all the darkness. You got to realize, guys, these kids are around darkness. Think about this music. Think about the movies. Think about what's in and what's trending. You know what I'm saying? And think about the world that they came in compared to us, or millennial generation, or the generation before that, going back to the boomers. Like, you got to think about the generation that they came in, guys, too. So don't be so quick to always throw somebody out, you know. Right, like the saying, don't throw the baby out with the water too, you know. A lot of times they're looking for somebody to just inspire them and encourage them. And sometimes, even though you're a parent and you've been there for your child, please don't take it personally when your child don't want to talk to you, because it might be a phase when they do that. But just try to find somebody they can trust and talk to that's an adult that you trust. Because I know a lot of my parents love that their children maybe might act up at home and not talk to them, but they could confide in me as their teacher. And they said, I love that they trust you, Mrs. B, that they can talk to you and they have somebody, because I don't know what I would do with them at home. You know, so don't get that twisted, guys. Give you guys a chuckle. So let me get this up. And here we go. All right, guys. So let me know if you've done this before. Be honest. Or if you've been in this situation. All right. So it says, ghost town. Not a single soul. Man can't find employees at Walmart. Uses intercom to get help. Says a customer recently used an intercom at a Walmart to get help. Why? He said, because absolutely there were no customers. There were no workers around. So guys, have you ever had that issue? You in Walmart? I'm gonna play the video because you guys are gonna crack up. It says Walmart might as well be a ghost town. He says TikToker decided to show the viewers an entire Walmart store. And it turns out that it was a ghost town. He got on the intercom, and I'm gonna show you guys what he did on the intercom. You're gonna crack up, right? So here's a guy.
Shit frustrating as hell, man. You can't never find any employees at Walmart.
And I'm gonna tell you already, he's gonna drop the F-bomb, so beep. This guy is getting on the intercom right now.
Hello, if I could please get some help in the electronics department, I would appreciate it. If I could please get some help in the electronics department, that would be amazing. Trying to buy a computer. Thank you so much. See you soon.
And listen, guys, he figured it out because there's a list of how
Not a
to get on
single
the
soul.
intercom.
Let's try it again.
This is the second time he gets on the intercom. The second time.
This is the electronics department. Can someone please come to the electronics department? I'd really appreciate it.
He said, I really
Any
appreciate it.
Walmart employee at all that has access to the laptops in the electronic department, please come on down. Thank you so much.
He said, any employee at all.
And now we wait. For how long, who the fuck knows?
Me? Forgot. He did say F-bomb. And the guy, look, guys, employee mad at him. He said, he told me, he says, I think I use the phone, sir. So what did the guy say? He said he told him, why did he use the phone, I think. He said he didn't have to use the phone. I thought that was so hilarious because I get it, like, you know, and it looks like he probably was, that's either a smaller Walmart or he was at a Walmart way out. Oh, Nightbot, be quiet. Oh crap, I see it. Oh man, I can see, I forgot, guys. I can see your thing, but you can't see it. Because when I'm on StreamYard, I don't see what Nightbot's doing on a YouTube. I'm sorry, I didn't even see that, but I see you, Lucas. I got it up right there. But yeah, guys, he said so. It says, needless to say, this video went extremely viral. Soon people started posting commentary on the video. It says one user said he wasn't mad that you used his intercom. He was mad that you blasted him for not being at the intercom at his station. Another user said, it says, yeah, the reason it takes so long is because that same person is probably covering 4 or 5 different areas. That's probably true, because they can staff their store properly. They can't staff it. And then somebody finally says, can't even find an employee, but you can guarantee there's someone in the store waiting to check your receipt. You ever see when they go out of Walmart, somebody checking their receipt? It says, interestingly, some others believe that's the way Will handled the situation wasn't right. So it says, as it turns out, the last video regarding the Walmart experience got Will fired from his job. Some of the users who checked his video reached out to his boss. At the end of the day, the video has been deleted. Oh, wow. So he got to do, I think he got that guy fired. Lord. So you guys think he deserved that? Well, like I said, we got into it. Let me see. And the last thing I'm gonna talk about real briefly, guys, is this was so interesting. This story about the this lady. So I'm gonna just briefly tell you the story really quickly, and then we'll be done. So this lady, she I don't know if most of you, if you've had a baby or you've had a child, you know that you get the screenings in the early months of the baby being born to make sure that they're okay. They do like a blood test and all that stuff, right? So this lady did a screening for her baby and found out that her baby had spinal bifida. But what's so interesting about this, guys, is they did a 3D model on the baby. And in the 3D model of the baby, they needed to do this, guys, because they're going to do intrauterine surgery on the baby. I thought this was so innovating and just interesting. So when I say intrauterine surgery on the baby, I'm telling you that they're going to do surgery while the baby's still in this lady's womb to help with the spinal bifida, right? So here it is. Let me get this over here. I'm going to get this here. Okay, so, all right. Here we get it up, right? So here we go. It says, Dr. hands pregnant woman a 3D replica of her unborn baby before fetal surgery. Fetal means the baby's still in the body. Can you guys believe this? Now they're doing surgeries, not cutting the baby out prematurely and doing the surgery. The baby is inside the body and they're doing the surgery. That's crazy. So let me show you guys. So basically, guys, this lady found out her baby has spinal bifida and they're trying to help the baby have a better life. So because they know the baby's forming and fusing right now. So what they wanted to do is they wanted to do the surgery on the baby while the baby was inside the mother. Because if you don't know, that's the best place for babies to grow, is inside the mother, right? So they were going to do the surgery inside the mother. And the lady's talking about it. I believe this is at Orlando Health. So it says Jocelyn was taken to Orlando Health Hospital where surgeons use a new procedure to fix birth defects. Did you guys hear this? A new procedure to fix birth defects, like spinal bifida while the baby is still in utero. This is amazing, guys. So they can fix birth defects inside the mother's womb. So let me try to get the video. So right here, guys, that's the 3D of what the baby looks like. I believe now the baby's 20 weeks. And they had to do a 3D model so they could see what they're going to do when they go inside. So they made this whole 3D. Let me just play the video so you guys can see where the video. Here it is. Okay, here you go, guys. This is pretty amazing if you think about it.
Jocelyn Rodriguez hasn't given birth yet, but she already knows what it will be like to hold her daughter thanks to new 3D printing technology.
It's just crazy. I mean, to visually see it and actually get to hold it was just very like, oh my gosh, like, is this happening? Like, it was pretty crazy.
At 18 weeks pregnant, she and her husband learned their daughter has spina bifida, a birth defect that occurs when the spinal cord fails to close normally during development. She was referred to Orlando Health, where surgeons are using a new delicate procedure to correct birth defects before a baby is even born. By using MRI and ultrasound imaging, they can print an exact replica of a fetus, allowing surgeons to see details like skeletal structure and fluid sacs in the brain caused by spina bifida.
The 3D printing models prior to surgery not only mimics the anatomy of the defect or the spinal defect, but also educates the surgeon about potential challenges or intra.
Do you guys see that? That is amazing. So they are operating on the baby inside the lady's fetus, because guys, you know, like anything before, I believe 30 weeks or so, babies need to stay, 32 weeks need to stay inside the mother to grow at the best pace and rate. They try to do that. And once again, guys, they're doing a surgery on the baby, this baby with spinal bifida, to help her have a better life because of what she has before she comes out.
Operative complications.
Doctors performed the fetal surgery.
A lot of emotions kind of went through my head. I wanted to do everything I could possibly to give her a life that wouldn't be as difficult with disabilities. And they said, you know, this is her best shot at living a semi-normal life.
Jocelyn is scheduled for a C-section to deliver. She and her husband are planning to name the baby Candace.
I'm ready to take care of her, ready to see her prove herself, because I know she's going to.
The first-time mom says her experience shows there's so many possibilities that other moms who may get a similar diagnosis should never lose hope. This is Inside Edition Digital.
All right, guys. So yeah, that was pretty amazing. I definitely want to kind of end off on a good note with a nice, heartwarming story about the little baby being able to, once again, get that surgery in utero. So once again, guys, if you're just coming in, hit the like button. If you need to hashtag replay. If you are watch the video today, go in the comment section. Every time you see a video, guys, comment before the video ends so you don't forget. So the people that are coming in on replay and new people to the Finesse family channel know exactly what the video is about, know your perception and views. So make sure you guys are commenting on the videos right now. Comment on this video, say what you learned, what you like, what was important to you, what you didn't know, and go back. That is your assignment for the weekend, guys. Go back to the other videos. Most of you are at every Finesse Freestyle Finesse Friday, and you're at all the videos, even if you're on hashtag replay, but I don't see the comments, right? So go back and comment, guys. And other than that, I'm gonna work on Nightbot and figure this out. But I appreciate you guys being here. Another Finesse Friday down. It was awesome, guys. Thank you guys for joining. And once again, make sure you guys are faithfully innovating, inspiring, being naturally effective, and seeking success every day. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to all the people that support. Shout out to you guys that are always here. Make sure that you guys hit the like button and you're sharing this message. And once again, guys, Freestyle Finesse Friday. Down again, guys. Have a great weekend. Adios, au revoir. See you later, guys.